when it comes to cleansing your hair, you want to make sure that you are applying the shampoo to the scalp of your hair. And when it comes to applying conditioner or any other styling products to your hair, you want to make sure you're only applying to the strands of your hair. Follow for more hair tips.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. You have reached naturesnaturalhair.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about detangling brushes, or should we say detangling tools, because as you know, when you're dealing with your natural hair, having the right tools is very essential because it makes the journey that much more easier for you. So if this is something that you want to hear, then stay tuned for the next part of the video. But before we jump into the video, guys, I just need to share to you guys that we do have an online store that you can visit, and that's at naturesnaturalhair.com, and we have an array of natural hair products for men, women and children, and they are tailored to what your hair may need. So whether it's moisture, whether it's strengthened, so you might need protein in your hair, or whether you're looking to grow your hair, then we have products that's tailored for that nature. So if you head over to naturesnaturalhair.com, which I will leave a clip here of the website, and I'll leave the information below in the description box as well. Also, while you're there, we do have a hair care service that you can sign up to, and there are 2 services that you can book with us. And we have one where we can talk you through your hair care needs, and we give you advice, product suggestions, hair tips, and that service lasts for about 20 minutes. We do have a more in-depth service where we send you a questionnaire to understand what you're doing with your hair, and we'll give you our feedback as a follow-up as a follow-up when booking another session with you guys. And then we can sit down and have a conversation about what you're doing with your hair care, what you can incorporate in there to make your hair care that bit more manageable for you, and obviously our suggestions and so forth. So we do have that service that you can book up to. If you book the second service, you do get a 15-minute consultation session with a hair care trichologist, and that's if you have any hair or scalp issues, then we can obviously refer you to a specialist and you can have a session with them also. So now we've got all of that out of the way, let's get into the video. Right, so we're going to be talking about detangling tools. So the benefits of using detangling tool is to, one, help detangling your hair that much more easier for you. And the whole purpose of detangling tools is, as it says, to help to detangle or to tackle those problematic areas in your hair that might formulate knots, or it can be very cumbersome trying to decipher those knots because you don't have the correct tools to help you do so. So I'm going to go through tools that I've used and I feel my opinion works according to what my hair texture is. There isn't a best detangling tool. Everyone's hair is different. It's just finding the one that works best for your hair texture. So the first one I'm going to go into, which I'll leave in the cutaway, the image, is the EZ Detangling Brush, and that's one that I use in my hair, I use in my 2 daughters' hair, and I find, in my opinion, it works very effectively in detangling your hair. And it's great because it has 5 fingers, I call them, and they separate. So as it's working through the strand of your hair, each one of the comb is ensuring that that section is being detangled effectively. You work, as you know, from the bottom all the way up to the roots until it is fully detangled, but it is a great tool to invest in. It not only helps with detangling, but it's a great styling tool as well for your hair. So if you want to put your hair up in a bun and make sure your hair is really detangled, free of any knots, then this would be a tool that I can suggest for you to use, because it's something that works very effectively in my opinion. The next tool is the paddle brush, and I know many of you are on the fence with paddle brush, but don't sleep on it, because a paddle brush it works very effective on damp and on dry hair. So you've got the best of both worlds here, and it has a very cushioned base which makes it so much more easier to glide through your hair and to detangle your hair as well. And some people find that it works very effective, especially when they're washing their hair and their hair is damp. And when you apply the conditioner on your hair, it glides really nicely and helps to detangle your hair very effectively. So that's one of the tools that I have used, and I can say works very effectively in my hair texture and works very effectively. Her hair texture is a lot more kinkier and a lot more thicker than mine, and when I say it worked very effectively in detangling her hair, I would say don't sleep on it, try it for yourself and see if it works for you. Okay, so the other tool that you probably all would be very much acquainted with is the Denman brush. And you've got the Denman D5 styling brush, they call that, but it has much more wider bristles on the actual brush, and it works very effective in detangling your hair. And I would say with this brush, yes, you can work your hair into smaller sections if you have much more kinkier hair than me, and you work obviously from the bottom all the way up. But people find that it works effectively in detangling your hair, and obviously you always want to make sure that you detangle your hair on damp hair and never on dry hair, because you don't want to create any breakage. So always dampen your hair. If your hair is a lot more kinkier, then you can apply a detangling product in your hair, or you can use a conditioner in your hair and section your hair and use the brush, and you will see it will help detangle you so much more easier, and it will glide through really nicely. So that's the Denman D5 Row Classic Styling Brush, that's what they call it. But I'll leave all the images here in the cutaway so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the next detangling tool is the wide tooth comb, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with a wide tooth comb, and many people do have more preference of using the comb than a brush. And again, I said it's down to what you feel comfortable using in your hair and what your hair prefers, so whether it works for your hair texture. So wide tooth comb is not really anything much to go in, except that it has much more wider teeth, and it's less pulling and less tuck into the hair. It makes detangling in your hair great, whether it's damp or saturated with water, and it does the job in detangling your hair. You can work always from the bottom upwards, and you'll find that it will glide nicely and detangle nicely. Obviously, the next detangling tool people have preference in using is their fingers, and they find using their fingers is effective because it spots the tangles, and you're able to decipher the tangles without physically pulling it out with a styling tool. And they find that the detangling with the fingers is a lot better. Detangling with your fingers is perfectly fine, but I don't feel, in my opinion, that it's sufficient enough to fully detangle every section or every strand of your hair. So if you're going to use your fingers, I will probably suggest to either follow up with a wide tooth comb or with a detangling brush, because you want to make sure that all areas of your hair or your whole head is like properly detangled, because it makes styling your hair that much more easier. But again, it's down to preference. I'm not here to tell people what you should and what you shouldn't do. I can give my suggestions, and that's my suggestion in relation to if you're going to use your fingers to detangle hair, do make sure that you are fully detangling every section of your hair properly, because I tell you, it will make the styling process that much more easier for you. So hopefully you found this video useful. It is very short and sweet and to the point, but I will leave all the information down below in the description box about the tools that's been discussed. And if you want me to do another video about the different styling brushes used to blow dry your hair, then I will be more than happy to create a video in relation to that, because as you know, there are different tools that's designed to do different things for your hair, and I'm happy to tackle that for you. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and leave me a comment below if you have any videos that you want me to touch in. I will look into that for you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.